Hiya, hiya. The big pushes for country artists, boy, they're everywhere. They're like a fly on you know what. They are just going after it, with Dolly Parton and Garth Brooks and everybody that's country. They all push in this countrypolitan music, and it's an outlaw move because what's happening is the women in country music are pushing. They want to be there. Taylor Swift is one of them. She's big part of that movement. Thank God last night on the American Music Awards, nobody talked about their own personal desires, their own interests, other than the fact that they were there to celebrate the music, which is what it's all about anyway. So Garth Brooks, what is he doing? Well, you know what? This is the artist, Robert Fleischer, my friend, who designed my cheesecake cover and also put me in the picture in Times Square in a spacesuit. And that happens to be the album cover for Garth Brooks' Legacy. Well, we have another imitation of life. But I'm ahead of the curve, so I'm just going to roll one and smoke me a fat one. That's all I'm going to do here. The new movie that's coming out is the Irishman, is on Netflix. You've seen enough about that one. They opened in a few theaters around the country, and they took it from television to put it on the movie theaters. The other thing is that in Little Italy over the weekend, they had a celebration of the Irishman in the home of the wise guys, Little Italy, where they gave away for 7 restaurants, including Oliva, which is the oldest cheese store in the country. They gave away rice balls and meatballs and cannolis. Netflix paid for the party. They chose about 7 restaurants and had hundreds of people lined up, even in the rain, to come and get this free food. It's just a promotion because they want to promote The Irishman, which is a 3.5-hour film. So if you're going to go see it in the theater, you better wear your Depends. And that's it. It's a big film. The other one that's coming out on Netflix, too, is The Two Popes, which reminds me that Drew Carey is on his way to Cleveland, so he stopped in New York. And he's one of the 2 popes. It's like Bob Barker and Drew Carey. Bob Barker's like Pope Benedict. He's in the wings and just won't go away. That's the way it is. He's the traditional one. And then Drew Carey is the other pope. You got a couple of hopes too. They love the Price is Right. My friend Rob Roddy was the announcer on there. He wore those loud jackets. He looked like a maitre d' in a cockfight, But he was a wonderful guy and a good friend, and he made that whole thing pop, come on down. I think there was one guy before him that was famous. But, Rod's a jolly big guy, and there's nothing, roll me a fat one, I know. There's nothing wrong with having colorful clothes. They certainly have done it in the music industry. We have fashioned ourselves beyond reproach. We're in the circus business. Look down and you'll see a little sawdust on the floor here. That's what we got. Plus, people running for office. That's definitely a circus. And you got Bloomberg, who's got more money than anybody in the world, and he's running. Why would you want to be president when you have $50 billion? Why run for office? Just buy your own country or build one. Go to another planet, like some other guys have done. Who has done that? Richard Branson has done that from Virgin Airlines. He wants to go to outer space. I've been there in outer space for a long time. This would be a return trip for me. And they got a baby Yoda now. Do you see that? I mean, George Lucas must be sitting there having a heart attack watching what Walt Disney's done with his franchise. Baby Yoda? The guy, they're streaming them out. These little Yodas are going to be around giving advice, talking backwards, and saying philosophical things. It's just the world that we're living in right now. Crazy. My saying, stop the world, I want to get off. And the whole deal is that anything goes, like the song we used to sing about that. Cole Porter wrote that song, anything goes. And it's that way right now. Anybody can do anything they want to do till they get caught. And if you're rich, you better be on the lookout, because very rich people are being caught by lawyers. See, we graduated too many lawyers, so they got nothing to do but to sue people who were wronged or who are never going to make money anyway because they're too stupid, or ill-equipped, not educated, not skilled, and so they're going to find something that happened to them years ago sexually, or something where they were wronged, and now they're going to sue the very rich people. So the very rich people are hiding. They're afraid that you're going to come after them for something they did years ago that everybody was doing anyway. We all got here because someone screwed. But don't keep the game going. Anyway, it's a Reynolds Rap.